What's going on, guys? Rob from Heroes Avenue. Hope you guys are having a great day. We are talking the DCEU today, and specifically we're talking about Shazam. We got some new photos to talk about and an update on the trailer description that I talked about earlier this week. We are talking about my man Zack Snyder and some of the things he dropped, and we are talking the DCEU rumor mill. We got a few interesting things to talk about, and I hope you guys have fun in joining the conversation for that one. Let's get into it. Okay, we're going to start things off with Shazam because I know you guys are all excited for this movie like I am. And first image we're going to check out here is the total film cover. And it has Zachary Levi reading the Shazam book, almost fourth wall breaking and very self-aware. So it's pretty funny here. I definitely think it fits the tone of the movie. Not that I think that there's going to be a lot of fourth wall breaking in the movie or that I think it's going to be self-aware at all. But I think it's pretty funny. It's a cool film cover that kind of fits the tone of what the movie's probably going to go for in terms of humor. Now, I know some of you guys may not be a fan of the humor or the amount of humor that is going to probably be in this movie. You guys have let me know as such in the comments, but some of you guys are fine with it. Other you guys might be a little upset that Shazam seems kind of he's such a newbie superhero. He doesn't seem like the smartest guy in the world, and so some of you guys are pointing out that he doesn't look like he has the wisdom of Solomon. So again, don't judge the movie before you actually see it, guys. Some of you guys are way too damn critical before the movie even comes out. Just have fun with it. Some of you guys take it way too seriously. Not that I don't take my movie seriously, but just watch the movie, then judge it. For example, the other Captain Marvel, some of you guys would call her the fake Captain Marvel, but the MCU Captain Marvel is coming out, and I was going to do a kind of a trailer reaction and breakdown to the trailer, and I decided not to because, quite honestly, the third trailer of Captain Marvel didn't wow me. So, I thought it was okay, but, not as good as the first trailer and definitely better than the second trailer, but not enough to make a video out of. So that didn't stop me and Darren from buying tickets for opening night. So we will definitely do a review on the MCU Captain Marvel. I'm hoping it's the best. I'm always hoping for a good movie. And I know some of you guys may not be Marvel fans, but Darren and I are both fans of DC and Marvel. We definitely lean towards DC because both of us heavily read DC comics, more so than Marvel. But yeah, so going back to Captain Marvel, I'm sorry, Shazam, gotta get used to that. But going back to Shazam, this image is really cool. I'm a fan of it. I do enjoy the Jeff Johns run. Some of you guys might be nitpicky, but I'm just here to say, man, take it for what it is, enjoy the movie, and judge it after you see it. So there we go. Let's move on to the next image. And again, so we have a total film image right here. This is probably from the same magazine, I think. So we have Zachary Levi facing off Dr. Savannah at night. This is pretty cool. We haven't seen this before. Everything has seemed to be in daylight so far from what we've seen, besides that image or the video clip of him changing into Shazam at the carnival. But this looks pretty cool. I like it. And we have another image from Total Film where he's talking to Freddy, probably in that same garage that he was in the trailers, trying to figure out what superpowers he has. And I do want to bring up one thing, guys. I did make a Shazam video talking about a rumor about what trailer number 2 is going to look like. And to an extent, David F Sandberg, director of this movie, went on to Twitter and he debunked at least a part of that. So what I have to say here is, even though he's debunking this part of the trailer description, I'm not ready to throw away that whole description as fake, but he does debunk this part. So let's discuss after I read it. So GoCon, hashtag release the Snyder Cut, on Twitter says, it's hard to believe the rumor that hashtag DCU fans are against an Easter egg of a kid humming John Williams' Superman theme in Shazam. Looks like a hateful message against Zack Snyder fans. Seriously, who's against it? Denounce yourself here. And then he tags Pony Smasher. And then David F Sandberg, or Pony Smasher, says, and the best part is that there's no humming of any theme in the movie. Maybe we should add it, though, to keep the rage train going. And then he puts a bunch of emojis in there. And this is why I love David F. Sandberg. He's very interactive with people on Twitter, and mostly he likes to troll people. So those are always fun, unless you're on the opposite end of that trolling. But those are always fun, and that definitely puts me at ease because while I love the John Williams theme, it's very powerful. It fits that tone of the Christopher Reeve Superman. I just think the Superman for our time is Henry Cavill, and his that Hans Zimmer theme, my favorite superhero theme of all time, is the definitive theme for Superman. It's such an incredible theme. Go listen to it, guys. I actually posted on our timeline, our YouTube timeline, and asking you guys what's your favorite superhero theme to work out in, and I screenshotted that particular theme because it's my favorite for sure. So I'm glad that there's going to be no humming theme of an old Superman theme. So that's pretty cool here. I'm not ready to disregard the rest of that trailer description because it does fall in line with some of the things we've heard in the past. But again, I don't want to go into potential spoilers here. So if you are interested in the rest of that trailer description, definitely check out my last video on Shazam on this channel. But that is it for the Shazam news today, guys. Let me know what you guys think about these images, and let me know what you guys think about the trailer description. Do you think the trailer description we got earlier this week is all fake, or do you think some of the description might actually come to pass? So let me know in the comments down below. Let's move on. So before we dive into the DCEU rumor mill, and there are a few to talk about today and some interesting points to talk about, we're going to talk about the man Zack Snyder. As you guys all know, we are big Zack Snyder fans here on this channel. Both Darren and I are a fan of almost all of the work he's done in the DCEU. Justice League that we saw is more like Joss Whedon's cut, so we definitely are released to Snyder Cut fans. And basically, today we're talking about this for a few things, because he dropped, or he posted on Vero. I'm not sure who actually still uses Vero, or who's ever used Vero besides Zack Snyder, but nevertheless, he drops this Ultimate Edition poster. Looks incredible. I love this angle of the Trinity, and it gives us that new perspective. Of course, I am a huge fan of this movie, especially I am a fan of this Ultimate Edition. I don't understand why it gets critically panned and divides audiences. Well, I get it. I do get it, actually. So, some people weren't a fan of the directions that they took Batman in regards to him killing some people, even though he has killed people in the comics. And they're not, if you weren't a fan of Man of Steel, you probably weren't a fan of BVS, because it's the continued story of our Man of Steel for this era. I think all of us were fans of Wonder Woman for the most part, but yeah, this is an incredible looking poster, and our story of Zack Snyder doesn't end right there, because Zack Snyder also went on, I think this was on Twitter. He went on to Twitter, and he actually he says this: "My contribution to the fan-initiated fundraising t-shirt campaign. All the proceeds from this t-shirt are going to American Foundation for Suicide Prevention." And then he links the shirt right here. And I got to tell you guys, I am going to buy the shirt. I think it's awesome. And if you guys have ever been affected, or have known someone, or known someone, a friend of a friend who has dealt with suicide, you guys know how much of a terrible thing it is. And, if you guys know any of those people, definitely, offer a helping hand, or offer them some sort of, some sort of place to get help, because it definitely is a serious thing. And we know Zack Snyder has felt the harsh realities of this problem. So if you take a look at this shirt, the front of the shirt, the front of the shirt has all of the symbols of the Justice League members on it. It has the mother boxes on it, and it just looks incredible. And it definitely looks like he's trying to tell us something right here, especially with the Superman logo at the very top. But I think it's absolutely incredible. I love I'm trying to depict, is my first time looking at it, actually. I'm trying to depict what he's trying to tell us with this stuff. But I think and it has these letters up here, AEQUITAS. I haven't looked it up while making this video, guys, but if you guys know what some of this means, or you have an interpretation of what the front of the shirt means, I'd love for you guys to drop those comments down below, because this is the first time I'm checking it out while I'm making this video. And the back of the shirt says, "All the gods, all the heavens, all the hells are within you," and it's a Joseph Campbell quote. Now, I am not one to be able to pick apart this quote and tell you what it means off the top of my head, because this seems pretty deep. But I did look someone's description of really quick, and this person is on Quora. Someone just answered the question of this quote, and I'll just read this real quick. I'm not taking credit for this at all. This quote from Joseph Campbell's Power of the Myth: The gods, heavens, and hells all carry a metaphorical meaning here. The heavens are the goals of man's existence. The hells are the miseries and conflicts he goes through. The gods are the means to achieve the goals of existence. What Campbell says here, in essence, is the source of all problems and conflicts. Your deepest ambitions and goals and the means to achieve it are all within you. The only way to be aware of this and resolve it is to look inwards. That's kind of part of the description this person gives here, and I think it sounds pretty deep, and it's something that you definitely got to think upon. Now, there are other descriptions people have, and they all seem really cool. So if you want to look more into that quote, guys, or if you have maybe your own insight into what it means, let me know in the comments below, because man, this is me looking at it for the first time, and it definitely would require some deeper thought into trying to pick apart what this means. But I really think this is an awesome thing to do and support. So I'm definitely going to buy one of these shirts. I think it's a cool looking shirt, and it definitely holds a lot of meaning, and it's going to go towards a good cause in suicide prevention. So the man Zack Snyder doing good work. Of course, this is probably in memory of his late daughter, and may she rest in peace. And hopefully Zack Snyder, who just created his own just renamed and revamped his production company, or announced his new production company, I should say. I can't remember the name on top of my head, but hopefully we get that Snyder cut soon, baby, because big fans of Zack Snyder over here. Can't reiterate that enough. Okay, that's enough of Zack Snyder for right now. Let's go right into the rumor mill. So we got a few things to talk about in regards to the rumors for the DCEU. So first thing is that the Joker movie, we've heard quite a few rumors so far, and none of them actually, are official stories. But one outlet, this is coming from, let's see, Revenge of the Fans. So some of these rumors are from Revenge of the Fans today. Revenge of the Fans, this person, or they are saying that they are hearing it's a heartbreaking, pitiful, and a tragic movie. And those are some of the words used to describe it. And it'll have political undercurrents in the vein of V for Vendetta, with commentary on the current situation the U.S. is in now with President Donald Trump. Okay, so and then I think a quote from there is, I've heard comparisons between the Joker and the raw 70s/80s storytelling style of filmmakers like Martin Scorsese and Sidney Lumet. In particular, I hearing the film has a very Taxi Driver meets the King of Comedy vibe, which may explain why Scorsese was once rumored to be producing the film. That excites me very much, and I know as a big film fan, this is probably really bad for me to admit on here, but I have not seen Taxi Driver yet, so I will definitely watch that and catch up on some of you guys who probably have seen it. I will catch up before that movie, but I think this sounds awesome, to invoke the words heartbreaking, pitiful, and tragedy with the character of the Joker, I think probably fits, since we are getting an origin story, and I know a lot of you guys are not fans of us hearing an origin for the Joker, but I'm always of the mindset that, hey, if you didn't like a movie and it's a standalone movie, if you didn't like it, you can always pretend it never happened and it's not even part of continuity. So I think it's a very interesting place to go. It's not an official origin story for the Joker. It is a telling of a Joker origin story. So I don't think the comics or anything like that are going to adopt this. So if you don't like this movie, that's cool, because it's just an exploration into a character, and the fact that it's going to have undercurrents in the vein of V for Vendetta, political undercurrents of V for Vendetta, definitely a significant movie and book, and it going into the political situation we are in now is, probably really relevant. So there are a lot of other movies that did so as well, like Black Klansman. I know it's not a superhero movie, but it definitely had a lot of ramifications for what's going on today. And some of you guys might not be fans of politics entering our movies, but whether you like it or not, politics surrounds us and it affects us all, maybe in different ways. But I am excited for this movie. I cannot wait till we start getting more marketing for this movie, because this was one of my I think this was my most anticipated movie for this year. Yeah, if I did my top 5 list earlier or at the end of 2018. So again, we're moving on now. According to another report by Revenge of the Fans, Warner Brothers and DC Films' Birds of Prey won't feature flashy costumes for the characters. Now, that's kind of a fine line there. These characters these DC characters are so iconic and have have such a distinct look to them. Of course, we know Harley Quinn's going to be Harley Quinn. I wouldn't call her costume incredibly flashy. Black Canary's costume, I don't imagine is incredibly flashy. Huntress, I'm very interested in how they're going to portray the Huntress, especially are they going to give her that mask that she has in the comics? So I'm not sure. Not really huge news right there. We'll see if this is true. I definitely think they need to give us the costumes because as you can see with Aquaman, when you go full in on the comics or the comic book nature of it, the fans tend to respond well to it. So I'm hoping they give us comic accurate costumes to the best of their abilities. And of course, I'll be reporting on it when we get more news on Birds of Prey. And then again, Revenge of the Fans is dropping all these rumors. So Revenge of the Fans also saying that Matt Reeves, director of the Batman, his latest draft added more spectacle to the film than previous versions of the script. And then I'll quote Revenge of the Fans here. From the sound of it, Reeves has amped up the spectacle a bit. I don't know what motivated him to bring a little more explosiveness to the proceedings. Maybe the studio has loosened the reins on his budget a bit thanks to Aquaman, but I hear the action quotient for the film will lie somewhere between Seven and The Dark Knight. Plot details for the Batman are currently under wraps, but the film is said to center around a younger Caped Crusader, and Matt Reeves has confirmed that it won't be based on a Frank Miller's Year One comic. That's cool. I don't want a Year One adaptation. Don't get me wrong, classic storyline, but I don't want a direct interpretation. So that's why I get a little confused when fans are saying, oh, it's not like this in the comics, because if you wanted what's in the comics exactly, then go read the comic. I want to see it interpreted to the big screen and to fit the wider universe. So as long as they make a good movie, I'm all for it. In regards to adding more spectacle to the film, I do like spectacle in my superhero movies. I do think it's cool how they say it will lie somewhere between Seven and The Dark Knight, because Seven, of course, is kind of that detective. I haven't watched it in a long time, but it is definitely an incredible movie that talks about the seven deadly sins. Obviously, it has nothing to do with Shazam here, but Seven is more of a movie. It felt like that detective movie, and if this movie has any trace of a Seven vibe to it, I am all on board for it. But it is Batman, and we do need some action in the movie. I don't know how they're going to top that warehouse fight scene in BVS, because that was probably my most favorite fight scene in any movie by far. That Batman warehouse scene is incredible. I want one more of those, hopefully, because The Dark Knight, while really one of my favorite movies of all time, or superhero movies of all time, while it is up there for superhero movies, the fight choreography isn't necessarily the best. So I'm curious what you guys think about this. Are you guys fans of more spectacle? Do you feel like it should take on more of a detective type vibe, since we've never gotten that from a Batman script? Or what are your thoughts on this? Let me know in the comments down below. All right, guys, that's it for the stories today. Let me know what you guys thought in the comments below about all of these stories. Got no time to read the comments today, but in the next video, I will for sure read some of your guys' comments. Again, it's getting pretty fun in the comment section here. A lot of cool things to talk about, a lot of people to address because they make a lot of good points, but that will be for the next video. So again, if you guys haven't, give this video a like. Please subscribe if you haven't already. Hit the notification bell to be notified for all of our videos, and I will catch you guys next time. Peace.